you should know. Some insurance companies are quick to offer a settlement in their own best interest. Now, before you sign something you don't understand, call the Injury Helpline. Talk to an attorney near you for free, one who will explain your legal rights and costs. There are no attorney fees unless you receive payment for your injuries. The insurance companies have attorneys working hard on their side, and so should you. Call 1-800-232-7001.
Spilling the beans on Portland's Coffee Craze tonight at 7:30.
I'm John Palmer. Ahead, the heartwarming reunion of a family after years of separation. The story of adopted triplets who reach across the ocean to find the mother they feared they had lost forever. And the passions of Peyton Place. On screen, it brought scandal to prime time, but it was romance behind the scenes that kept America buzzing. Join us. You're about to experience instant recall. A set of Korean triplets search for the true mother they've never known. And when 3 generations finally meet for the first time, a painful past gives way to a moment of joy and forgiveness.
And she looked at me and she said, I haven't slept in almost 27 years. I didn't know if they were dead or alive.
It brought scandal into our living rooms, and it was almost too hot for prime time. But that's only what happened on camera, behind the scenes of a steamy soap opera called Peyton Place.
Ryan had the most active lifestyle. I guess I went out with Ryan for a while. Off the set, we got our feet off of the floor and onto set. Also ahead, the rise and fall of a sex symbol, the brief life of Jayne Mansfield. In the best of cases, it's a painful and a very difficult process, the search of an adopted child for his natural parents. But imagine growing up far from where you were born, spending years haunted by a half-forgotten past, and then trying to find a mother who, if she is alive, lives half a world away. It's a story that was lived by Peter, Joan, and Jim Stratton, triplets whose quest led to an extraordinary reunion.
All my life I remember thinking about who were my real parents. What were they like? Because this way I can determine what I was going to be like.
January 1958. Seoul, Korea. Ming Ok-soon gives birth to triplets. It is 5 years after the Korean War, and the Soon family is struggling to make ends meet. Now, with a total of 11 mouths to feed, they make the agonizing decision to give the newborns up for adoption. The triplets end up at the Buddy Home, an American orphanage set up in Korea by Fred and Willie Jordan.
The one thing I remember their mother telling us was that she didn't want to give the children up. And you could tell that her heart literally broke. But she said, I couldn't feed them.
Lorraine Jost, an American nurse working at the orphanage, names the triplets Jim, Joan, and Peter. She raises them in her private quarters and brings them with her when she returns to the United States. 7 years later, now with 3 children of her own, Jost can no longer afford to keep them, and the triplets are again put up for adoption. A year later, Jim, Joan, and Peter are welcomed into the Stratton family in Riverside, California.
They were such cute children. I have to admit I was wondering, whether we could handle it all. I soon found out we could handle it just fine.
Bill and Laura Stratton, along with their 2 children, provide the triplets with a stable, loving, all-American home. But like adopted children everywhere, as they grow up, Jim, Joan, and Peter can't help wondering about their background, their natural family.
Obviously, as you're growing up, we looked different. You noticed that we were Korean.
Every now and then I thought about it, and then I just, leave it at that.
I would think that they were either dead or they abandoned us, or that because of the situation in Korea, they couldn't keep us.
1984, Jim, Joan, and Peter are married and starting families of their own. Watching their children grow up, curiosity about their own childhood deepens. The triplets decide they must find their natural family. Peter sends a letter to the first mother they can remember, Lorraine Jost. Jost puts the triplets in touch with the Jordans, whose orphanage in Korea was their first home.
I got a phone call from a young man named James Stratton. He said, I'm from Korea, and I'm one of triplets. I said, if your name is James, then your brother's name is Peter, and your sister's name is Joan. He said, how did you know? And so I kind of took him back and told him the story of how they were brought to our orphanage, and he said, well, what we want to know is, can you help us find our birth parents?
Willie Jordan calls the buddy home in Korea, and an ad is placed in a local newspaper. The triplets soon receive the exciting news. Their mother is alive and well, living in Seoul with her 6 surviving children.
I received a phone call from Korea, and on the other end, this old woman's voice was screeching at you and crying at you, and she was speaking in a different language, and I realized this must be my mother.
I was a little uneasy for a while because I didn't really know how to react.
All of a sudden, you have another existence of a part of you somewhere else. And I was just thinking to myself, wow, this is really amazing.
In the spring of 1984, Fred and Willie Jordan take a trip to Korea where they arrange to meet the mother of the triplets, Meng Ok Soon.
When she saw us, she just literally fell into our arms. She sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. And she looked at me and she said, I haven't slept in almost 27 years. I didn't know if they were dead or alive.
The Jordans are so overwhelmed by her reaction that they decide to fly her to the United States. October 29th, 1984. The family awaits her arrival at Los Angeles Airport.
When you see her, give her a hug. It was kind of confusing because you don't do this all the time. Meet your mom. I mean, everybody knows their mom.
Did I say hi? Say hello, Mom. I was just really nervous, and I really didn't know what to say.
I did not know what to expect. I did not know what she looked like or anything. When I first saw her coming through the terminal, I saw a woman who had 20 or more years of doubt, fear, anxiety, totally erased. I thought, oh, this is pretty neat. And no real emotions yet. And then when she touched me and I touched her and then we were hugging, then the emotions all came out. And I thought, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for.
I felt like I was a little girl, and I wanted her to be my mommy just for a little while.
It was her opportunity to see that her decision was not a bad decision, that her children turned out to be okay.
Meng Ok Soon spent 6 months in the United States getting to know her children and her grandchildren. Jim, Joan, and Peter hope to go to Korea soon and meet their 6 brothers and sisters. Willie Jordan now runs the Fred Jordan Missions, which feed and clothe the needy in the United States and abroad. Next, another moment, another time on Instant Recall.
The show that set new heights for scandal on the tube and gossip off the set. The strange story of how Frank met Mia and changed the face of Peyton Place. Also, the star whose talents were always on display. A revealing look at Jayne Mansfield.
I'm home.
Oh, thanks for getting the dinner, honey.
Oh, it's no problem. How you doing there, Peanut?
Fine, but I'm starving. Did you remember to put the mushrooms on my salad?
Yes, I did, and I remembered the bread and the chicken.
You want to take her while I put it on the table?
Ooh, and the diapers.
At Albertsons, we have a huge selection of prepared foods that are fresh, healthy, and affordable. Albertsons, we think like you do.
Finally, I get to talk to an adult.
Come join the good times at Walt Disney's World on Ice. Take off on a magical journey to Neverland as the classic tale of Peter Pan comes to life like never before. Mickey and Minnie will be there, Donald and Daisy too. There'll be daring adventure with the Rescue Rangers, the dastardly deeds of the evil Captain Hook, and of course, you know who. Set your sights on adventure and good times and bring the whole family to Walt Disney's World on Ice.
Get your tickets at the Coliseum box office or any G.I. Joe's Ticketmaster location.
Today on First at 4.
Bad news. Car thieves have gotten smarter. But the good news is car alarms have too.
Warning. You're too close to the vehicle.
Protect yourself. Know your options.
When you arm your alarm, the doors will lock, the windows will go up, the car will arm itself.
Don't get ripped off. Join us for a report that will help you outsmart the best car thieves in town.
A special report today on First at 4.
We've had our gas masks on about 4 times.
Tonight on News 8, coverage continues of the showdown in the Gulf. Americans at war.
An overall feeling of fear.
They left our military bases. The sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers of the Northwest. Now, some are on the front line. With live updates from around the world, News 8 brings you the stories as they happen in the Middle East and how Oregonians feel about them. Showdown in the Gulf. America at war. Continuing reports tonight on News 8.
Before Dallas, before Dynasty, there was a landmark show that became the very first primetime soap opera. It was based on a lurid novel that was widely condemned, a book that was called brutal, latrine writing, and borderline pornography. Parents kept it from their children, but kids read it anyway, usually under the covers with a flashlight. Beginning on September 15th, 1964, parents had a whole new problem: how to keep their kids from actually watching what went on in Peyton Place.
This is the continuing story of Peyton Place.
Peyton Place was the first show where people literally would not go out. You could look in the streets. There was not a car out anywhere. People would not accept invitations. They would not answer the phone.
What I want to know, Betty, is will you be able to live with us? Will you be willing to try to help him?
How can I help him beyond loving him?
By refusing to let him use your ambition to justify his own.
It's the early 60s, and ABC buys the rights to the most daring novel of the decade. A steamy story about life in a small town called Peyton Place.
Peyton Place essentially said that sex is something that's part of life and shouldn't be hidden under a blanket with the lights out.
The question everybody is asking is just how much of this will make it to the television screen. On September 15th, 1964, America gets the answer. It's a prime-time dose of sex and sin, not once, but twice a week.
Good evening, Dad.
The sleepy New England town is the home of a tangled web of characters. There's the attractive widow, Constance Mackenzie, and her illegitimate daughter, Allison. Rich boy Rodney Harrington plays lover to bad girl Betty Anderson. But the most passionate romance is between Ryan O'Neal and Mia Farrow. Peyton Place breaks taboo after taboo. Forbidden topics such as teenage pregnancy.
Betty Anderson in Peyton Place was the adventurer. She'd take it one step further. She was promiscuous.
Is it sure?
I'm afraid so.
I mean, there can't be any mistake.
When Barbara was pregnant, we approached it as if she was pregnant. It was very simple. These were the facts, and we dealt with it.
The show is a big hit, but even so, ABC is still nervous about possible viewer outrage. The network tries to keep a lid on the show's more passionate moments.
We tried to take it to the very edge as much as possible in terms of sexual relationships going on, but you couldn't portray the actual body action of making love, which you see in television all the time now.
We were never allowed to kiss with our mouths open. If our feet came off the floor while we were sitting on the bed, they'd stop the filming.
The cast of Peyton Place is also causing a lot of talk off the set as well. The show becomes a breeding ground for Hollywood gossip. When 19-year-old Mia Farrow takes up with Frank Sinatra, it causes a worldwide sensation.
She was his girl. She was with him all the time. And when he was about to have his 50th birthday party, she naturally assumed that she would go with him to the party.
But Mia isn't invited, and she's about to shock the nation with a dramatic act.
We had worked in the morning, and I went to lunch, and suddenly the whole studio shook as if there was an earthquake. And I said, I sensed something. I said, what's going on? And someone said to me, Mia has cut her hair.
The whole staff had to scramble to make Mia's new look make sense.
We put on a wig so we could finish the scene. Then we did another scene where she cut off her hair, and that's the way she was from then on.
While Mia is with Frank, Ryan takes up with Barbara.
Ryan had the most active lifestyle behind the scenes. He could get the girls real good. You know, he had a gift of the gab. I guess I went out with Ryan for a while. Off the set, we got our feet off of the floor and onto the bed.
Rod, listen to me.
By June 1965, Peyton Place is so popular they decide to put it on the air 3 times a week. But ABC is pushing its biggest hit beyond the limit.
I think that's unfortunately what killed it, because the producers literally got so tired of it. They were just exhausted. They didn't know how to produce 3 shows a week.
Viewers begin to desert the show in droves. ABC scales back Peyton Place to twice a week, but it never regains its momentum. It is canceled in June 1969, but it paves the way for future primetime soaps.
Stephen.
Peyton Place really set a pattern for the continuing series that have been on the air since, such as Dallas. When it finished, they said there would never be another one, that it was just an accident. But I never believed that, because it fed something fundamental again in people. It fed the sense of continuity, that life goes on. It doesn't end on the hour in television.
Am I wrong, Allison Mackenzie, or is life taking on a rosy glow again? Am I wrong?
A very rosy glow.
Walter Doniger is the executive producer and writer of Stone Cold, a feature film that will be out later this year. Barbara Parkins will be starring in a new series called Scene of the Crime. Ruth Warwick plays Phoebe Tyler on the daytime soap opera All My Children. Next, an actress who left little to the imagination.
She tried to be another Marilyn, but before she knew it, she was a has-been. The strange career and sad end of Jayne Mansfield.
You wouldn't expect this road to be dangerous, but any road anywhere can be dangerous when a careless driver is on it. If you've been hurt in an accident, do you know what to expect? There'll be time away from work and lost income, medical bills, plus the pain and suffering from your accident. No matter where it happened, our law firm can protect your rights, and we'll make sure you get every financial benefit you deserve.
Haw, Dean & Powell help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 227-6722. They're in your corner.
Into the throw it in, rip it open, take it out world of convenience food comes a revolutionary new idea, cooking. Introducing the Budget Gourmet Quick Stirs, delightfully wholesome cooking that lets you create wonderfully fresh-tasting complete entrees in just 6 deliciously short minutes. Budget Gourmet Quick Stirs, a revolutionary new idea in convenience food, cooking.
If this is a cold, this is the flu. Cold. Flu. Cold. Flu. If what you've got is more than a simple cold, now there's Metaflu, with the maximum dosage of 4 strong medicines to give you flu-strength relief for even your worst symptoms. New Metaflu from Parke-Davis. For more than a cold. For the flu. Metaflu.
That cough sounds bad.
When her littlest patient is coughing, it's the biggest thing on Mom's mind. So now there's a new Robitussin pediatric cough suppressant, formulated just for kids. the long-lasting cough medicine with a great cherry taste from the brand more doctors and pharmacists recommend. And since Robitussin Pediatric gives such effective cough relief, both the patient and the doctor can rest comfortably. New Robitussin Pediatric Cough Suppressant, recommended by Dr. Mom.
Tonight on News 8 at 5, the environment.
Fishing is easy. For sea lions, that is.
Marine mammals are extremely intelligent animals, and if they see salmon entangled in the nets, it's a lot easier pickings than trying to grab a free-swimming fish out of the water.
With so many seals, sea lions, and fishermen, and too few salmon in the lower Columbia, somebody's getting unfairly hooked.
A special report tonight on News 8 at 5.
These days, it's hard for a female sex symbol to go too far. Even Madonna has to work overtime to find exotic new ways to shock the public. But before the sexual revolution, the formula was simple. A full figure, a low-cut dress, and the daring to see just how much you could get away with. One of the last of this breed was born Vera Jane Palmer in 1932. But she became much better known as Jayne Mansfield.
Hi, I'm Jayne Mansfield.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars.
She slept in a heart-shaped bed, swam in a heart-shaped pool, and for a few incandescent years in the late 50s, Jayne Mansfield's career soared like the lyrics of her favorite song. Married and a mother at 17, Mansfield seemed unlikely material for a glamour girl. But she soon parlayed her lush 46, 24, 36 figure into a modeling career. Outrageous publicity stunts followed. Mansfield arranged several revealing accidents with her clothing, appeared at the most absurd beauty pageants, and this dumb blonde was nobody's fool. Listen to her 1955 interview with celebrity reporter Hy Gardner.
Say, Jane, you've been crowned Queen of Uranium, Miss Peanut Butter and Jelly, Miss Bluebonnet Belle of Texas, and amongst other things, I think you were once crowned Queen of Stalled Crosstown Traffic.
Oh, my.
Now, of all your honors, which title do you cherish the most?
You know which title I like?
No.
I like to be called Mother.
Touche, dear.
By 1956, Mansfield was a movie star. She headlined in risque farces with names like The Girl Can't Help It and Female Jungle.
Fire in your lips, and you can be tender.
Her exaggerated walk and breathy voice came from Marilyn Monroe.
Thank you very much. Now, down to business.
But she had talents very definitely her own.
Who wants to be tall?
But by the late 50s, Mansfield was overexposed. Her attempts to be taken seriously were mocked.
I took off my top, but I just couldn't bring myself to take off my bottoms.
Soon, Mansfield starred only in European soft porn films.
I wish the world will never forget me and always love me.
Then, in 1967, Mansfield died in a car crash. In a bitter irony, Jayne Mansfield got her wish. The world does remember her, not for her talents, but for her tragic death. Jayne Mansfield is buried not far from her birthplace in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. Her grave is marked by a huge heart-shaped headstone. Here's a look at tomorrow on Instant Recall. A night on the town ends in terror. When a deadly fire breaks out at a crowded Kentucky nightclub, a young couple survives a night of hell. Also, a gripping story of war. Panic fills the streets as Americans evacuate and the North Vietnamese close in. The final moments before the fall of Saigon. And a king gives up his crown for the woman he loves. The romance of the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. In a moment, a poetic pugilist.
Jergens Extra Dry is a therapeutic skin conditioning treatment that helps heal the roughest elbows, knees, and heels. Let's talk seals and Reynolds Crystal Color Plastic Wrap. Sure, it makes things more creative and fun for your family, but it also seals tighter than the leading brand. A lot tighter. Reynolds Crystal Color Plastic Wrap. It seals as good as it looks.
It's Velveeta versus cheddar. Our Velveeta melts much better. Cheddar's lumpy, cheddar's oily. It dribbles off your plate onto your doily. See Velveeta melts so creamy. It improves your tetrazzini. When the cookbook calls for cheddar, make it with Velveeta. It cooks better.
Hey kids, get in on the fun at Walt Disney's World on Ice. Coming to Portland Memorial Coliseum February 27th through March 3rd. Mickey and Minnie, the Rescue Rangers, and the whole Disney gang lead the way to an incredible adventure as the classic tale of Peter Pan comes to life. Join KGW-TV for Hip Pack Night February 28th at 7:30 p.m. when kids under 12 get a free Mickey Hip Pack. Be the coolest in school with the pack that goes everywhere you do. KGW-TV Hip Pack Night tickets are on sale at the box office and all G.I. Joe's Ticketmaster outlets.
I'm Richard Dysart from L.A. Law, visiting your beautiful state of Oregon. You've heard the saying, justice is blind. It means all of us, rich and poor, should receive fair treatment under the law. Thousands of Oregon lawyers support equal justice by offering their services pro bono, that's free, to those who cannot afford it. The Oregon State Bar can refer you to legal help, including your community's pro bono program. Jot down this number for the Lawyer Referral Service. It's the Oregon State Bar's way of ensuring justice for all.
Travel arranged through Continental. Whether to Florida, Hawaii, or any of more than 100 other grand destinations, Continental, because one airline can make a difference.
We end with a moment from 27 years ago today, February 25th, 1964. They've called him a loudmouth kid, a braggart, a clown. They agree his antics have brought a breath of fresh air to boxing, but nobody thinks he can beat the champ. Before the match, one sports writer jokes, it's even money Clay won't last the national anthem. But the loudmouth kid has the last laugh. By the time the 7th round begins, the champ can't even make it back into the ring. 27 years ago today, Cassius Clay defeats Sonny Liston to become the heavyweight champion of the world. We leave you now with the top 10 song from that day, California Sun by the Rivieras. Until other moments and other times, I'm John Palmer.
What?